Hey everybody, this is Hadrian. Thanks for watching. It is March 31st, 2016. Let's take a look ahead and talk about what's coming soon. For those of you who are new to the channel, and there are a lot of you, these are videos that I like to record once a month or so, and I have been so behind on this. I like to do them near the beginning of the month, and here it is, the very last day of March. If I had waited one more day, I would have missed a month, but I didn't miss a month. Look, I did it. Haha. Please nobody say anything about the fact that it's actually been longer than a month since I did my last one. Just don't say it. Just let it be. Anyway, I like to record these so that you guys have a snapshot of what's coming soon for the channel, whether it's the 12 p.m. slot, the 6 p.m. slot, whichever one you might tend toward more. Right now, of course, they're very similar. They're both running a turn-based strategy game. It's not always the case, so I want to give you a little bit more information about that, but it's just a way to talk about what I've got around the corner to give everyone an inside look, if you will. So the very first thing I want to say is welcome. Welcome to my new subscribers. As you might have seen, we jumped above 300 subscriptions on March 27th, and almost a fourth, above 25%, probably more than a fourth of the channel's current base has arrived within the past 2 weeks. It's crazy. You know, I started, sincerely doing, regular scheduled YouTube content in November. Almost a fourth of my current audience has arrived within the past 14 days. It's crazy. So welcome to all of you. I'm very glad to have you, and I'm excited to do this look ahead to give you a little bit of a preview of what you can expect from the channel. So since there are so many new people, I just really quickly want to point out that the channel, when you look at the channel banner on youtube.com when you're on a computer, I'm not sure how you would access the links on a mobile device, but it's similar. When you look at the channel banner, there are several links overlaid on the bottom right of the channel, and there are several social media outlets that I've already set up for those of you who are enjoying being here and who actually would like to be more a part of the channel community. Obviously there's YouTube, but there's also Reddit, there's Steam, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, and there's the website. The website really isn't a social media outlet, but it is a place for me to post like the letter for the 300 subscribers that I wrote for those of you who saw it. There's that. All of the social media sites are small at the moment. There's not much activity going on, but the upshot of that is that you get to be one of the original users in what I would like to be a long-running community. So if that sounds cool to you, click the links on the banner, check out the subreddit, check out the Steam community. I hope to have you more involved. I really value community interaction, positive community interaction anyway. Not going to put up with negative community interaction, believe me. But everyone's been fantastic so far, and I just want to invite all of you to be a part of that at your nearest desire and convenience. As soon as you would like to, you are welcome to. If you want a snapshot of my expectations for the community beyond what I just said, because it really does come down to, just positive, not negative. But if you want a snapshot of kind of the rules, the best place to look is the subreddit. The rules are on the right. It's not really about the rules, but it's just more of looking at, okay, this is the tone he wants to set. So if you want to check it out, go to the subreddit. It's reddit.com/r/HadrianLP. On that note, if you're more curious about how to get involved in any of those particular social media sites, I do a series called the Channel and Community Miniseries. I have been horrendously slack in getting all of the videos up to date, but it's just because they're very, very tiny, so I have a tendency to be like, oh, I can do that later, and then I run out of time. But also, on top of that, I have some updates that I would like to do to, for instance, the YouTube one. I want to update the actual video on YouTube because I found out more about ways that people who are really invested in the channel can get updates better from YouTube, and I want to tell you guys about that. But that's not for this video. That would take too long, so keep an eye on the Channel and Community Miniseries if you're interested in getting more invested in the channel. I will be posting more in that as soon as I can. So, with that being said, I also like to begin these videos with acknowledgements and shoutouts. Of course, as always, I would like to begin by acknowledging my subscribers in general. Yes, there are a bunch of new people, but there's also 200 other people that have been here for longer, and there's a small core of you that have been here for almost the whole time, really being awesome and supportive members of the community, and I cannot tell you all how much I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. I'm sorry, by the way, it took me so long to get you another look ahead. I know most of you are going to be like, we don't care, Hadrian, it's cool, just put them out when you can, but that just makes me want to do it more. That just makes me want to be even more supportive. So, to my longtime viewers in particular, but all my subscribers, thank you for being here. I also would like to give some special acknowledgments on the Reddit side of things today. Specifically, the folks and the staff over at R4X Gaming, RCiv5, and even RCiv, because there's actually some overlap between the staff there a little bit too. When I started the Civ 5 and the Pax Humana series, I, out of nowhere, received, hands down, the best reception on Reddit in terms of upvotes and people responding to it that I've gotten yet. I mean, it's not to say that all of a sudden my videos were getting 1,000 upvotes. It's nothing like that, but it's the biggest I've ever gotten. A lot of support, a lot of people saying, oh, this is great, and it had a clear impact. I think a lot of the people watching this right now are here because of Reddit. So I just wanted to tip my hat to those people that came here from those sources, and tip my hat to those subreddits and to those staff members, because it's been great. The very last acknowledgement I would like to make is actually for a Steam group that I joined about a month and a half ago, and this is specifically for my Total War followers. Of course, not just for Total War. If you're a Romanophile like me, you might like to be a member of this group as well. It is called Gaius Julius Caesar. You can go to my profile on Steam and you can pull it up. Of course, it's run by a guy whose profile is also Gaius Julius Caesar, but it's between 200 and 300 members strong, I believe. And the purpose of the group was really twofold. The first purpose of the group is just to provide it's very much like my channel, to provide a space for a like-minded group of people to kind of congregate, enjoy games together, and also enjoy Rome together. Like I said, if you're a Romanophile like me, you might be interested in this group. It's a bunch of really cool people. But the other purpose is neat too. Obviously, there's not much of a competitive scene around Total War, and so the competitive scene is whatever the users really make of it, and that's exactly what Gaius is trying to do. He's also doing it with the help of a user called Xanthopus, who runs a lot of tournaments through the group. So if you're interested in competitive Total War play, you definitely want to check out that group. Again, just go to my Steam profile. You can go there through the Steam community link on the banner, like I was talking about a moment ago, and it'll take you there. And then you can just look up my groups on my profile, and you'll find it. It's very, very easy to find, very obvious. So that's that. We're almost 7 minutes in, and 7 minutes exactly now. Well, I might cut some stuff, so maybe we're not at 7 minutes, and maybe I'm rambling pointlessly right now. So anyway, with that being said, now I would like to talk a little bit about the current series that I have going. And wow, this is just such a fun time. I think the last time I did a look ahead, it was the beginning of February. I don't think I'd even hit 200 subscribers yet. And I think Against All Odds had just finished, maybe. So it was the beginning of a very interesting time for me. Those of you who read my letter when I hit 300 subscribers, you know this. It was very much a time of, oh god, this was my most popular series ever, now it's over, what's going to happen? And now we're in this period where I am seeing better numbers than I ever did during Against All Odds. There's a lot of interest in the Civ 5 tutorial, a lot of interest in Master of Orion. And by the way, I don't say any of this boastfully. Obviously, I'm proud of it, I'm very happy, but I say it with gratitude. I say it thankful for those of you who are here watching it and enjoying it and commenting on it and making it so much fun for me. But the 12 p.m. series, let's talk a little bit about Civ 5 as a tutorial. I'm really happy with how that's going, I think. It's been interesting because obviously I'm not scripted in any of my videos. I'm minimally scripted for this. I'm reading down a little bullet list basically to make sure I cover everything, but what I'm saying is just completely off the cuff. And it's the same in Civ 5. I don't go into a Civ 5 recording saying, okay, I'm going to talk about these things. The only thing that I script is if there's a comment that someone left, I'll print out the comment and read it off maybe, and then respond to it, give my thoughts on it if it's something that I want to talk about in the tutorial itself. But other than that, it's not scripted. And the result of that is that sometimes I've made some mistakes. Sometimes I've overlooked some things. And so when you think of a tutorial, sometimes you think of this really regimented, planned out, solid, like really clean, like lesson plan with a syllabus and course requirements and all this stuff. But I've taken a very different approach. And the way I characterized it earlier today was this was on a Reddit post, I think. I really wanted it to be like someone was sitting next to you teaching you the game, like a friend was teaching you the game. And when you have that, I mean, sometimes they're not going to explain every little detail in order. Sometimes they're not going to explain everything perfectly the first time, but if they do a good job, they're going to go back and make sure you get it completely. And also, when you have that approach, you have the ability to turn to your friend and ask questions and say, hey, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And we've had that as well, which I really enjoy with the Civ 5 series, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it as well. I don't even mind that the game has not gone very smoothly either, because from a tutorial perspective, I think almost if you're learning the game, you kind of want to see someone playing like you. I've had a few stumbles in the series, and I think it's actually really good because it allows new players, which the series is targeted towards, to actually see, okay, well, he made a small mistake there. Didn't cost him a lot, but it put him in a situation similar to something that I've been in one of my games, and now I want to see how he gets out of it. And I think that that's a useful thing to have from a tutorial perspective. I think a lot of times people would rather watch a tutorial from the perspective of a struggle than from the perspective of just winning everything. Just my thoughts. I mean, you can learn to win the game on your own, or you can watch a perfect tutorial if you want, but I'm happy with how the tutorial's going so far. As always, leave me some comments below, or just on the series in general if you want to share some more insight. As far as the 6 p.m. series, this is the first time in the channel's history that I've been running 2 strategy games side by side. It's also the first time I've done any kind of turn-based strategy in the 6 p.m. slot. But, of course, as I've said, the 12 p.m. slot is really for historical strategy and for grand strategy. The 6 p.m. slot is for science fiction. It's for simulation. It's for I just said sci-fi, but it's for survival, like The Long Dark. And I originally called it my off-genre slot because I saw my channel in the beginning as this very strict kind of grand strategy, historical strategy channel that was focused on history and the grand narratives and all that. And then I was like, well, I can do this other slot, and it's kind of off-genre, but it'll be a place for me to play other things that I want to play. And then I did this series called Against All Odds in The Long Dark, and it just went really, really well. So since then, I've started thinking more about what I want to do with the slot, and right now we've got Pax Humana going and Master of Orion, and that is just, oh my god, I am going to be playing more Master of Orion. Hands down, like without question, I will be playing more Master of Orion. It's such a fun game. It's so fast-paced. It's much faster paced than Civ. The turns go by faster, which, you know, pressure's on now for Axis with games like this out. Civilization 6 better be freaking awesome. But Master of Orion has been a lot of fun, so I'm going to find as many ways as I can to do additional Master of Orion content. I don't know if I will necessarily follow Pax Humana with another Master of Orion series, but I might. We'll see. There's some other stuff I want to play, which I'll talk about in a bit. But overall, I think the series is going well. Where I would like feedback from you guys is because the game is so fast-paced, I'm getting a little nervous because I'm just doing so much in every given second. And it really tends to kind of get away from you a little bit, the same way that, you know, if you're watching a skilled Crusader Kings or Europa Universalis player play, they're just all over the place. You're like, oh my god, what are you doing? I can't keep up. So if you're watching it and you're going, okay, slow down, you need to explain a little bit more about what you're doing, let me know. If you're saying, oh, this is awesome, I like the fast pace, it's easier to pay attention, then by all means, go ahead and let me know that as well. So anyway, that's the status of the current series. I'm happy. I just think they're going well. The next series and potential next games for the 12 p.m. Grand Strategy slot. So the next series that has been planned since, like, ever, will be a return to Total War. Eternal Empire, as it's called, I've already made the thumbnail, it's pretty cool, will use a small cocktail of mods to create a more believable depiction of the resurgence of the Roman Empire, post-350 AD, from Eastern Rome's perspective. So we're going to take Eastern Rome, we're going to rebuild the Roman Empire, and we're going to use mods that create more of a feeling of a true return to glory. Because when you're playing Total War Attila in vanilla mode, you can bring the empires back, but by the time you just feel like you've been beaten down and you're in the Dark Ages and it's just, ugh. This way, the way that we're going to play it, it's going to feel very much like things are back the way that they were, and it's awesome, and the fall of the Roman Empire never happened, and all of that. The upside of that is, of course, the very beginning will be different from any Total War content you've seen me play before, because the beginning of any Roman campaign in Total War Attila, even with the mods that I'm going to use, is incredibly challenging. And I'm going to die a lot, and I hopefully won't lose and have to start over. But I've play-tested the mods I'm going to play with. It works great. I've done it twice now, with slight tweaks. So I'll tell you more about it when the series starts, but I'm very excited about it. After that, I'm not opposed to more Civilization from a non-tutorial perspective. My fingers are still crossed for Civ 6 later this year, and believe me, I will be all over that when it gets announced. I'll be all over it when it gets released. So, but more Civ 5 maybe in the meantime would be good too. I'm also still toying with Crusader Kings 2 and slowly learning Europa Universalis 4 as well. The games can be frustratingly complex for me, but they have really great grand narrative potential, so I still feel that given time to learn basic response types to all the possible situations and kind of get over that initial frustration, because it's so deep in Crusader Kings 2, you know, your things are going so well, and then a problem you've never encountered before can just ruin you, and you just go, really? Screw you, you know, and you rage quit, as a Rumba likes to joke. But I would really I think I would really enjoy doing a Let's Play in those games. I want to stress that the only reason I haven't done these already is just, like I said, I kind of feel inept still. It's hard to capture a grand narrative when you're just not that good at a game yet. So, but those are things that I still have in the back of my brain, and you guys can let me know if you would like me to play some Crusader Kings or Europa Universalis, or if you wouldn't mind me playing and sucking. Let me know that too, because that could help. You never know. So anyway, that's the 12 p.m. slot. Let me talk about the 6 p.m. slot now. As I mentioned, I want to do more Master of Orion. I'm loving the game and the community, and I think it's a great time to be making content for the game. That being said, my next Master of Orion series will probably come after I try out another series first. I would like to circle back and do my Into the Locker series in Subnautica now that my hard drive issue is better. If I didn't tell you, or if you somehow didn't find out, the reason Into the Locker was called off was I had a hard drive failure, but I didn't realize that's what was happening. I thought there was a problem with Subnautica, and as you recall, when I switched away from doing Subnautica back to doing Planet Base, I was like, yeah, there's a problem with Subnautica, not sure what it is, maybe they'll patch the game. Turned out my hard drive failed while I was recording. It didn't completely fail, so I still had access to it, and it seemed like it was working, but the next moment I tried to do recordings, I realized, oh, nothing's being written to this drive. It's really kind of crapping out. So I've replaced it. I've recovered all the video that I could from it. So thankfully, it didn't completely crash, so I was able to get a lot of the footage from, say, my intro. So that was done, thankfully. After I had just remade my intro, too. That would have been super frustrating to have to go back and get all that footage again. But I've got it. It's safe and sound, not only on a backup, but on the new drive. So I'd like to go back and do some Subnautica, is the point of that whole story. Now that I know it's working, I would like to actually play the game. Subnautica is a beautiful science fiction survival game. Those of you who watch me play The Long Dark, I think would really, really like it. And it's just a lot more colorful than The Long Dark. I love The Long Dark, but The Long Dark has a certain art style that's a little bleak. It's beautiful but bleak. Subnautica is not bleak at all. I mean, it's a bleak situation, but the game is just vibrant and gorgeous, and it's eye candy, and I really would love to play for a little bit. Some other games that I really would like to play it. It's just amazing. Some other games that I'm currently looking at down the line are City Skylines with all the latest DLC, Sins of a Solar Empire for some more sci-fi strategy, because it seems like some people want me to play that, and certainly Master of Orion has been popular, so Sins of a Solar Empire is in a very similar vein. It's older, but still, I think it's just as watchable, if not maybe even more watchable than Master of Orion, because it's not turn-based. It's real-time, like CK2 and EU4. So it's very different from those games, but it's really, really cool. And then, of course, the moment you've all been waiting for. I expect Against All Odds will return for Season 2 in May. I'm really psyched for that series, and I hope you are too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe there'll be a patch by then, too. We still got a few months before it comes out, so it's been a while since Hinterland said anything. You know, might do a patch there. It could come out with something that would make us happy. That'd be great. Little patch there. Got a little update to your game. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm silly. It's been so long since I've recorded one of these that I'm off the handle a little bit. So, last but not least at all for 6 p.m., Stellaris has been announced for a May release. So that will be something to keep an eye on. I should have time for a bonus series or two this summer, just saying. So I don't know where the bonus series are going to fall. Stellaris will probably be a 6 p.m. series. It's science fiction strategy, just like Master of Orion. But the thing is, it's coming out right around the time I will have Against All Odds going. So I'll probably do a bonus series somehow in Stellaris. It might be a little tough. It's all going to depend on my schedule and how busy I am, guys. During the summer, I should have time to run a third series for a while, which would be fun. For those of you who are hearing these words going, oh my god, you're going to expand your content? No. As I've said in past videos, the channel is very much what I always want it to be. I keep 2 dedicated time slots with slightly different kinds of categories going. And when I have flex time, I will do additional series. So that's what I'm saying when I say bonus series. So you know, those of you who are new to the channel. But anyway, let me think if there's anything else I have to cover. That's all my notes. I want to reiterate how thankful I am to all of you for joining the channel, for joining the community, for commenting, and for all of your kind and encouraging words as you have come in. It's been great to have you. I want to say before I wrap up, when I'm talking about my subscribers and talking about my viewers, you know, I've got 300 subscribers. I don't hear from 300 subscribers. And what that means is that there's a lot of people who are content to just watch the content and enjoy it, but not necessarily interact for personal reasons. One reason or another, they aren't really as involved as some of the more extroverted, more out there, socially minded commenters. And I'm not saying you're not social people at all. You just, for your own reasons, right? You're doing your own thing. You're just enjoying the content and moving on with your life. And I just want to say a special thank you to you as well, because despite the fact that I have all of these awesome people that are talking and being a part of the community, there's only really, I would say, 50 or less of those right now, of people that are actively commenting. And that's a generous estimate. I have 300 subscribers. So there's 250 of you that are hanging out that I don't hear from, but that are still here and supporting the channel. And I want to thank you for being here very much. So on that note, I think that's all. I know that was a lot of information, but rather than going on and on again, I'll just leave it at that and let this be a more dense, kind of tightly packed look ahead. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them. This is the place. This is the place to talk. If you're not involved in any of the other community portions, but you do want to ask me questions or get involved maybe with some of the other people asking questions, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you want me to clarify anything I said, I'm happy to do that. And I will see you guys in the next recording, whenever that might be, which will actually be pretty soon. So, yeah, I'll see you in a bit.